this week's video. For this week, I'm doing my book haul for the month of August. This is a stack of books from that shelf there, in the hopes of lessening that shelf there, but we still have those stacks there that you can't quite see off screen, that one of them will be going back up there. So that is a futile endeavor because I have no shelf control. And we will be announcing the winner of last month's giveaway and offering up a new giveaway this month. So let's get started with showing off my books here. I will go through them and read the back blurbs and yeah, just sort of share what has been taking up space amid these shelves here. And the piles that you don't see. So we'll start with a short story collection by Miss Alice Munro, and this one's called Runaway. And I remember I got this at a book sale at the library. And I keep picking up Alice Munro, even though like she does short stories, and I don't usually do sort of short stories. I'm more of a novel sort of reader. But I've been sort of getting more into wanting to read more kind of like short stories because I flipped through it and I really sort of like her style, and I just keep thinking to myself that I should pick them up. It's in the same vein as sort of Isabel Allende, who I usually buy for the gorgeous covers. And yes, then I read the plot, and the plot sounds like something that I would like. I haven't read any Isabel Allende yet. I haven't read any Alice Munro yet. But what I've previewed of both so far makes me think that I will enjoy them. So let's get into the back blurb for this. Runaway is the first story in this stunning collection, which is sure to be a runaway success. All of the 8 stories here are new, published in book form for the first time. 2 of the 8 have never appeared anywhere, so this will be a special feast for the millions of Munro fans around the world. Oh, we're starting already. Miraculously, these stories seem to have been written by a young writer at the peak of her powers. Alice Munro's central characters range from 14-year-old heir Lauren in Trespass through the young couple in Runaway, whose helpful older neighbor intervenes to help the wife escape. Just as vivid, just as real is the 70-year-old woman meeting a friend of her youth on a Vancouver street and sitting with him to recall their tangled lives 50 years earlier through a web of cheerful lies. 3 of the stories, Chance, Soon, and Silence, are linked, showing us how the young teacher Juliet meets her fisherman lover on a train and makes a terribly mistimed visit to his BC home. How years later she brings baby Penelope back east to show her parents and learns sad secrets about them. And how 20 years on, she goes to see Penelope, in her cult-like BC community. The result is more powerful than most novels, a quality in Alice Munro stories that has been noted by many reviewers. As always, we are reminded that for her people, love is, one reviewer wrote, a blend of water and fire. As always in her stories, everything connects. The final story, Powers, spans 50 years and runs from Godric to Vancouver, showing us 4 strong characters, each of whom steps forward to dominate the scene, not least Tessa, the plain girl whose psychic powers take her on the vaudeville circuit. So, a lot of, some pretty intense stuff going on in here. Looking forward to reading that. And again, when I talk a lot, I yawn. When I read out loud a lot, I yawn. I don't know why. And this one I got at a supernatural convention last year. And they had like the regular like vendor booths and stuff, and they also had an author there doing a signing. And I'm always in awe, and I always feel bad for authors at like booths like that, because as an author, I cannot imagine anything more terrifying and sort of like disheartening as sitting there at a booth with your book and no one's like coming up to you and the people are just like passing you by and stuff. And I just cannot, I have so much respect and sympathy for authors who are able to do that, because I, as an author, I cannot fathom doing that. So whenever I see anything sort of like that, like at a convention or at an event or anything, if there's like an author, like um, last uh, earlier this month, I went to the fan expo, and again there was a vendor there, and there was an author there signing her books and stuff, and I had to get one of her books because I just felt so bad. Like I don't know if she was like popular or not, and this one I don't know if like they're this girl is like popular or not, but I always have to go, and I always have to like at least check out the book. I may not buy it, but I will at least check it out. I will more than likely buy it because my compassion and sympathy for that person is sort of like that high. And I'm like, as a fellow author, I know sort of what it takes to do that. And I have not been able to do that yet. I don't have the guts to do that. But this one is called, it's book one of a series, the Eternal Night Shift series. It's called Bite Shift by Lena Nazare. Nazare? So let's read the back blurb. Kate Murphy is just a nurse and a single mom who wants to slip into her 40s quietly and finally lose those last 10 pounds. After a savage attack during her night shift break, Kate is turned into a vampire to save her life. Now she is thrust into a world that she did not know existed, trying to figure out how to keep her new condition secret from work, kids, and her ex-husband without missing a step. It's funny how the word vampire will make you forget you have a water bill. Unfortunately, Soren, the lord of the city, has sent her on a suicide mission to find the thing that left her for dead before it kills again, and he doesn't take no thanks for an answer. Despite knowing she should despise him, the passion he has ignited inside her is hard to control, and she's quickly losing the reasons she shouldn't give in, especially when he makes it clear that he wants the same thing. Kate will need to reach inside herself to find the strength that was always there, and finally learn she was never just anything. So, it's clearly a vampire paranormal romance. So, looking forward to that. Next we have, I don't think this has the blurb for it, but this gorgeous paper mill press edition of The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. And I have the sort of like paperback kind of version in there somewhere, because I like these paper mill press editions. They're so pretty that I don't want to, like when I read this, I don't want to, look at that, it's all metallic and pretty. I don't want to mark it up. So I want to have the regular sort of paperback edition that I can read and mark up. And then this one will go on what will eventually be my shelf of pretty, which will have my sort of paper mill press editions of books that I enjoyed and loved. I haven't read this one yet, but I have a feeling that I'm going to like it. So I wanted to grab it. Yeah, I'm going to have my shelf of pretty with my sort of these books, with any sort of special editions of like the Bronze Horseman that I find, my favorite classics in special editions that I find, Outlander in like a special edition that I'd find. Yeah, that's going to be my shelf of pretty. So this one will go on there. It doesn't have a black back blurb, but just says this little thing on the back. At first, people refuse to believe that a strange new thing can be done, and then they begin to hope it can be done. Then they see it can be done. Then it is done, and all the world wonders why it was not done centuries ago. That's from The Secret Garden. So, very much looking forward to that one. Next we have Tea Time for the Firefly by Shona Patel. And this was totally a cover buy. I absolutely love this cover. And there was a note in it when I bought it. There's a post-it note that somebody left for whoever they gave this book to, and the post-it note reads, "This is the next book you must read because I said so." So I thought that was like really, really cute. Just Layla Roy has defied the fates. Despite being born under an inauspicious horoscope, she is raised to be educated and independent by her eccentric grandfather, Dadamoshai. And by cleverly manipulating the hand fortune has dealt her, she's even found love with Manik Deb, a man betrothed to another. All were minor miracles in India that spring of 1943, when a young woman's lives were predetermined, if not by the stars, then by centuries and family tradition and social order. Layla's life as a newly married woman takes her away from home and into the jungles of Assam, where the world's finest tea thrives on plantations run by native labor and British efficiency. Fascinated by this culture of whiskey-soaked expats who seem fazed by neither earthquakes nor man-eating leopards, she struggles to find her place among the prickly English wives with whom she is expected to socialize under the peculiar servants she now finds under her charge. But navigating the tea garden set will hardly be her biggest challenge. Layla's remote home is not safe from powerful changes sweeping India on the heels of the Second World War. The colonial society is at a tipping point, and Layla and Manik find themselves caught in a perilous racial divide that threatens their very lives. So, very, very looking forward to this. Again, if you've been here for any length of time, I really love reading about sort of his Indian culture and novels sort of set in India. I don't know why. It's that and Jewish culture and sort of like the Jewish society and Jewish religion. And yeah, I don't know why. I'm a Portuguese Canadian Catholic girl. I don't know why. But here we go. Take a drink. Next we have Robert Galbraith, also known as J.K. Rowling, with Lethal White, a Cormoran Strike novel. Now, I've seen, I think, the first 4 CB Strike novels, or miniseries movie things, and adaptations, I guess I can say. And I've enjoyed them. But surprisingly enough, even though Lethal White is one where like the sort of feelings between Robin, his partner at his detective agency, and Cormoran is sort of like more at the forefront, it was not my favorite because of Robin's actions. It was not my favorite movie. And I found the resolution to the crime fell flat to me. However, maybe if I read the book, it'll be sort of like more fleshed out and I will maybe have a different opinion of it. Because I do want to get sort of all the book versions of the movies that I've seen so far. I haven't seen, I think it's Troubled Blood yet, so I'm waiting to watch that one. But yeah, I really have enjoyed the series so far, but I haven't read the books yet, but I will be reading the books. And Lethal White was my first introduction to the precious, precious floofy poofy that was Eddie from Stranger Things, Joseph Quinn. The first time that I had ever seen him was in Lethal White. And then when I saw him in Stranger Things, I was like, oh my god, that's, what was his name? Was his name Billy in Lethal White? I think. That's, yeah, from Lethal White. And, like, I wanted to hug him so much in Stranger Things as much as I wanted to hug him in this. Just, oh my god. So that was sort of a nice kind of little surprise. So yeah, looking forward to this one. Let's read the back blurb. Billy, yeah, okay. I seen a kid killed. He strangled it up by the horse. When Billy, a troubled young man, comes to Private Eye Cormoran Strike's office to ask for his help investigating a crime he thinks he witnessed as a child, Strike is left deeply unsettled. While Billy is obviously mentally distressed and cannot remember many concrete details, there is something sincere about him and his story. But before Strike can question him further, Billy bolts from his office in a panic. Trying to get to the bottom of Billy's story, Strike and Robin Elcott, once his assistant, now a partner in the agency, set off on a twisting trail that leads them through the back streets of London into a secretive inner sanctum within Parliament and to a beautiful but sinister manor house deep in the countryside. And during this labyrinthine investigation, Strike's own life is far from straightforward. His newfound fame as a private eye means he can no longer operate behind the scenes as he once did. Plus, his relationship with his former assistant is more fraught than it has ever been. Robin is now invaluable to Strike in the business, but their personal relationship is much, much trickier than that. So, yeah, their personal relationship is a hot mess. And, yeah, so looking forward to reading that one after having enjoyed the movie. Next we have The Early Diaries of Anais Nin, 1914 to 1920, Volume 1, Linot. And I've always wanted to sort of read her, and I finally managed to pick up a book of her erotica that I will show off in a future book haul. But I think I might have shown it in like a weekly vlog or something, but for like an actual book haul, I haven't done that yet. But yeah, so let's. I think this is 6 years. Yeah, 1914 to 1920. And this is volume 1. So it starts off, Anais Nin started her celebrated diary at the age of 11 when she was immigrating to New York with her mother and 2 young brothers. It became her confidant, her beloved friend, in which she recorded her most intimate thoughts and kept watch on the state of her character. It gives a charming and amusing view of her early life, but it will be valued most for its self-portrait of an innocent girl who is transformed through her own insights into an enlightened young woman. So I believe this follows her from age 11 to about 17? 6 years? So definitely looking forward to that. And to sort of see how she, how her story develops. Next is one of my favorite authors, Pam Jenoff, The Woman with the Blue Star. Now, I adored The Diplomat's Wife. It is on my keeper shelf. I did not adore The Orphan's Tale. The Orphan's Tale, I believe it was. And I got this at another library sale. But The Orphan's Tale, I did not like that one. But I love her writing style so much that I'm willing to keep trying. I'm not sure if I'm going to read The Commandant's Girl, because The Diplomat's Wife is part of a series, and I think The Commandant's Girl comes before The Diplomat's Wife. So when The Diplomat's Wife, we kind of know already what happens in The Commandant's Girl. So I don't know if I'm going to be reading that one. But there's this one, The Woman with the Blue Star. And I think I mentioned I got this also in a library sale. 1942. Sadie Galt, is 18 and living with her parents amid the horrors of the Krakow ghetto during World War II. When the Nazis liquidate the ghetto, Sadie and her pregnant mother are forced to seek refuge in the perilous sewers beneath the city. One day, Sadie looks up and through a grate and sees a girl about her own age buying flowers. Ella Stepanek is an affluent Polish girl, living a life of relative ease with her stepmother, who has developed close alliances with the occupying Germans. Scorned by her friends and longing for her fiancé, who has gone off to war, Ella wanders Krakow restlessly. While on an errand in the market, she catches a glimpse of something moving beneath a grate in the street. Upon closer inspection, she realizes it's a girl hiding. Ella begins to aid Sadie, and the two become close, but as the dangers of the war worsen, their lives are set on a collision course that will test them in the face of overwhelming odds. Inspired by harrowing true stories, The Woman with the Blue Star is an emotional testament to the power of friendship and the extraordinary strength of the human will to survive. So that's that one there. The next one is Well-Behaved Woman by Therese Ann Fowler. And this was also a book sale buy. And it's just, the cover is just gorgeous. I love that cover. Let me just take another drink here. After the Civil War, Alva Smith and her sisters are left with nothing but their good name. Enter William Vanderbilt, whose nouveau riche family is shut out of established New York society. Hoping a union will improve both families' standings, William and Alva marry, but still find themselves excluded by the old money doyens who control access to the city's social scene. Determined to have her due, Alva designs and builds mansions and hosts her own grand balls. Refused a box seat at the Academy of Music, she initiates founding the Metropolitan Opera House. But as she will learn too well, a life of wealth, status, good behavior, and privilege is not itself a recipe for happiness. Facing an unimagined betrayal, Alva puts her future at risk with a scandalous strategy that changes her life. Increasingly outspoken, brave, and fiercely independent, Alva will defy convention in many ways, including supporting progressive politics and championing suffrage for all women. Set in Manhattan, Newport, Paris, filled with a glittering period detail and cast of characters that include the Astors, the Belmonts, the Mandervilles, and other notable names from the era, A Well-Behaved Woman tells the remarkable story of a strong woman who would not be denied. So I believe it's a novel, but it might be sort of like a novelization of like real people. Because like the Vanderbilts, I believe Gloria Vanderbilt was Anderson Cooper's mother or grandmother. I think his mother. But so I think it's like that family that we're talking about. But sort of a novelized version of their story. So looking forward to that. Speaking of Isabel Allende, I picked up Aphrodite, a memoir of the senses. And let me get that sort of in. And I just was like, yes, please. Because I believe it is short. I'm not sure if it's like short stories. A memoir of the senses. I'm not sure if it's short erotic stories from her. But there's actual recipes in here. So yeah, I believe it's a memoir with recipes, and there's an erotic sort of theme kind of running through it. So I was like, yes, I need to read that right now. Eventually. Someday. Among the piles that I already have. So yeah. So, oh, let me see. Is there? I don't think there's a blurb. But there's a quote. Like a slow, seductive lover, Allende teases, tempts, and titillates with mesmerizing stories and legends about gluttony, sexual and otherwise. And that cover, or that back cover. And when was this? This was in 1998. 98. So there's like excerpts from like Anais Nin in here. Pablo Neruda. Like, yeah, yeah, definitely look forward to that. And finally, we have one of my favorite authors of all time, Kate Morton, The Clockmaker's Daughter. I love Kate Morton so much. She is an auto-buy author for me. I absolutely adore her books. And let's read the blurb. My real name, no one remembers. The truth about that summer, no one else knows. In the summer of 1862, a group of young artists led by the charismatic and talented Edward Radcliffe descends upon Birchwood Manor on the banks of the Upper Thames. Their plan? To spend a secluded summer month in a haze of inspiration and creativity. But by the time their stay is over, one woman has been shot dead, while another has disappeared. A priceless heirloom is missing, and Edward Radcliffe's life is in ruins. More than 150 years later, Elodie Winslow, a young archivist in London, uncovers a leather satchel containing two seemingly unrelated items: a sepia photograph of a beautiful woman in Victorian clothing, and an artist's sketchbook containing the drawing of a twin gabled house on the bend of a river. Why does Birchwood Manor feel so familiar to Elodie? And who is the mysterious unidentified woman in the photograph? As Elodie pursues these clues, the lives of the many people who have passed through the house are revealed. There's Radcliffe, whose love affair with his model and muse consumes him. His sister Lucy, who opens a school for young ladies. Leonard Gilbert, a soldier and scholar who retreats to Birchwood after World War I to heal and to write a biography of Radcliffe. Juliet, a young widow who takes refuge there with her three small children during the Blitz. And in the present day, Jack Rowlands, who has come from far away to search for lost treasure and meets Elodie when she eventually arrives at the house. Intricately layered and told by multiple voices across time, this is a kaleidoscope story of murder, mystery, and thievery, of art, love, and loss. And flowing through its pages like a river is the voice of a woman who stands outside time, whose name has been forgotten by history, but who has watched it all unfold. Bertie Bell, the clockmaker's daughter. So, if you know me at all, at any time, if you spent any time at all on this channel, you know why Kate Morton is one of my favorite authors, because this is the stuff she writes. She writes these intricate, plot twisty family sagas and like books of like family secrets and all the just, oh my god, I love her stuff so much. So immensely looking forward to this one. Yeah, so those are the books that I wanted to show off to you guys for this month. And the winner of the infamous Destiny by Sally Bowman, the winner of this giveaway is, get her up here, ABCD Effect 9842. So ABCD Effect 9842. So what you have to do, I will put my email in the description for this video. If it doesn't go up, like if you don't see it in the description right away, check back in like a day or so after I upload, because sometimes I am able to like upload, but then I have to wait until later on to like fill out the description on all the tags and all that stuff. So just check back. So I will put my email in the description for this video, or do I do it for the last one? Yeah, I will put the description, my email in the description for this video, and then you contact me, and then we can do the mailing address and all that stuff. So that was that giveaway. For this month's giveaway, which I will be announcing the winner of in September's book haul. So make sure that you're subscribed so that you can find out if you won when I do the announcement in September's book haul, is A Most Scandalous Proposal by Ashlyn McNamara. So that's the book for this month's giveaway. This month will be announced. The winner will be announced September. To September's book haul. So here is the back blurb. Let me take a drink first. After watching her beloved sister Sophia pine over the Ton's golden boy for years, Miss Julia St. Clair has forsworn love and put herself firmly on the shelf. Unfortunately, her social climbing mother and debt-ridden father have other ideas, and jump at the chance to marry Julia off to the newly named Earl of Clivesden, the man of Sophia's dreams. Since resigning his cavalry commission, Benedict Revelstoke has spent his time in London avoiding the marriage mart. But when he discovers that the Earl of Clivesden has set his sights on Julia, Benedict tries to protect his childhood best friend from the man's advances, only to discover that more than friendship is driving his desire to defend her. He surprises them both with the force of his feelings, but when Julia refuses him, and her father announces her betrothal, Benedict fears he's lost her forever. until Julia approaches him with a shocking scheme that will ruin her for all respectable society and lead them into an exquisite world of forbidden pleasures. So that is the giveaway for this month. All you have to do if you'd like to win is comment, but comment that you want to win with the title of this book, so that I know that it's not just because this is going to sound kind of, but I worry that people just see the word giveaway and they just want the book without actually having watched the video, which is not okay. So, to make sure that we're all kosher here, comment that you want to win the giveaway by, commenting like, yes, I'd love to read the book, and mention the title of the book so that I know that you've watched the video. So, again, A Most Scandalous Proposal by Ashlyn McNamara. And yeah, just comment that you'd like to read it with the title of the book, and I will announce the winner in it. Again, if you just say I want to enter the giveaway, or I'd like to read it, no, you have to specify the title of the book so that I know that you actually watched the video, because that's what we're here to do. I'm here to share these books with you. So all I ask is that you guys watch, and if you want to enter, that's great. I'm happy to give the book to you. And mind you, these books it's free, no shipping. I'm paying for the shipping. I just want to declutter the piles. But I have to know that you guys are watching. So, yep. That's the new rule. You have to comment with the title of the book and that you want to enter. So, that, and then make sure you subscribe, because in September, the September book haul video is the one where I will announce the winner. So, that is the giveaway. And so the winner for this month's giveaway, the winner for August, the July giveaway, I will put my email address in this description for this video, and then you contact me, and if I announced your name, then we can do the mailing addresses and all that stuff. So, I believe that is going to be it for this week's video. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie. Let me know if you've read any of these books and sort of what you thought about them without any spoilers, please. Like my Facebook page at facebook.com/authorejamie. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!